Behold, the Magic Kingdom during Halloween, where the biggest fright might just be the line lengths or the souvenir prices. Now, while the masses are getting their sugar highs and their Disney fix, we're on a quest for something just a little bit more ethereal. You see, we're bypassing the fairy tales and we're heading straight to the ghostly tales, so buckle up, Buttercup. This isn't going to be your average theme park tour. Oh, and join us today as we do just a little exploring. Okay, my fabulously fearless friends, let's shimmy down the ever-glitzy Main Street, USA. You know, if there was an Olympics for most Halloween spirit, I'm pretty sure that Main Street would get the gold. And probably the silver, and likely the bronze, too. It's like a pumpkin patch met Broadway and had a baby. A very, very enthusiastic baby. And here it is, the Emporium. See, this is the place where I'm just window shopping turns into, oops, I just bought the entire Halloween collection. Now, don't pretend it hasn't happened to you. So here we are in the Emporium, or as I like to call it, the Magic Money Vacuum. Let's just take a quick peek and check out this year's Halloween offerings. You know, just in case your home isn't decked out enough in seasonal commercialism.
Nothing but sincerity as far as the eye can see.
Ah, but folks, the piece de resistance awaits. You see, we're journeying into the heart of the Magic Kingdom on this mystical quest for its rumored haunts. So let's go ahead and put on our ghost hunting tiaras and sprinkle a dash of pixie dust and possibly Snark into this magical mystery tour. Alright, party people, having narrowly escaped the retail wonderland that is the Emporium, we're veering left at the hub and we're diving headfirst into, drumroll please, Adventureland. Now, for our lovely newcomers, here's a quick 101. Adventureland isn't just a random corner of the park. Oh no. Since its grand debut in 1971, it's been the go-to hotspot for thrill seekers and fern enthusiasts alike. It's where jungle vibes meet insta-worthy locales, and speaking of iconic, let's not even start on the legendary Dole Whip. It's like if happiness had a flavor, and that flavor was pineapple. Okay, quick sidebar and a little sprinkle of personal flair here. This section of the park, yeah, it's absolute magic, my friends. Now picture this. Spanish missionary architecture meets that just stepped out of the air-conditioned room breeze. And I promise you, no oceans were harmed in the making of this ambiance. Now, as we meander through, we feel like the star of our own Caribbean Fortress saga, right before plunging into the intriguing shadows of the attraction. It's like a movie set, but in this particular case, we're playing the lead. Okay, buckle up, ghost enthusiasts. As we settle into these high-class fiberglass boats, let's dive into a bit of phantasmal park lore. Our first spirit here is George. That's his name, and oh boy, does George have a story. Now, legends whisper that George was a dedicated Disney cast member back in the 70s. He was, of all things, welding a piece of this very attraction, Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, every legend has its own variations. Some say poor George met his fate crushed under a hefty prop. Others believe he took a tragic tumble from the dramatic burning city scene. Either way, pick your version, but all roads end up leading to George. Over time, cast members claim to have seen his ghostly presence on monitors, security monitors. Some have even reported odd footsteps or perhaps a phantom phone call coming from an empty control room. Spooky, right? Here's where it gets even more interesting. Every dawn, they greet George with a, "Good morning, George!" And every dusk, they have to bid him goodnight over the PA system. Now, you can laugh, but rumor has it if you skip that morning greeting, well, you're in for a day of ride glitches. Forget to bid him goodnight? No, expect some nocturnal ride activity. But don't fret, George isn't out to spook anyone, he just kinda wants a bit of acknowledgement.
Pack your feathers, dearie. Show 'em your flock.
Hey, send them hints to Davy Jones. It's the rendezvous.
Now, George doesn't reserve all of his activity just for the cast members. Park guests aren't spared from George's quirks either. You see, if you badmouth the ride or wish it would end sooner, you may just experience a little bit of the unplanned pause coming from George. But if you're really seeking the George vibes, head to that final big room with the flaming city, you know the one, near our swiny pirate friend, and just below the hairy leg of the inebriated pirate that hangs over the bridge, you might just feel George saying, "Ahoy." Now keep your senses sharp, and let's continue on this ghostly gamble.
Good night, George.
Bidding goodbye to George, we're going to take our leave of the entire Adventureland area and head towards Liberty Square. This might not be all that shocking, but our next ghost is actually in the most obvious of places. The Haunted Mansion.
Dear mortals, in the echoing corridors of our mansion, a curious tale persists. One that surprisingly finds its roots in reality rather than the realms of the spectral legends. The esteemed Wall Street Journal, an entity known to dwell amongst the living, has indeed confirmed that many have been so attached to our humble abode that they have brought with them the ashes of those that they hold dear, seeking to lay them to rest amongst our 999 haunts. Alas, it transpires quite frequently, but fret not, for in the ceaseless efforts to keep our mansion pristine, our diligent custodians employ the finest of HEPA filters on formidable vacuums. So while you may want to harbor dreams of allowing dear Uncle Harold or cherished Grandma to find eternal rest amongst our ghostly retreat. And last, their ultimate fate is, quite prosaically, the depths of a vacuum bin in the shadowy utilidors. A cautionary tale, my friends. Sometimes even the best intentions can be sucked away. As we wander deeper into the shadow tapestry of our mansion's lore, the tale beckons beyond the realms of our 999 recognized spirits. Whispers abound of a forlorn little phantom, a spectral child. Some claim his visage momentarily graces them with its presence, while others, both guests and cast members alike, have been startled by the distant sounds of ethereal weeping. One particular chilling account speaks of an empty doom buggy cradling the gaze of this unseen child. And though our California sibling boasts more tales of ghostly boys, here in Florida, he's not our only uninvited guest. Some have spied an elderly spirit clutching a cane, leisurely enjoying a ride between our offloading and our loading zones. Truly, the allure of our mansion transcends the veil of life and death. Upon exiting our dearly beloved home, should you find your spine still intact and not sufficiently chilled, might I suggest a detour to the Columbia Harbor House restaurant. There, in the blue-walled chamber above, a window offers a view to our grand mansion. And to further indulge your spectral cravings, the decor of this room subtly nods to ghostly ship legends of yore. So while you dine, let it be a gentle, shadowed reminder that you should always hurry back. Hurry back. Hurry back.
Strolling through Liberty Square? Well, keep those peepers peeled for your very own Discount Annabelle chilling in the window. Now, there's no movie deal or elaborate backstory for this particular creepy gal, but cast members swear that she's got a touch of the mischiefs, switching up her pose when no one's looking. Well, you want to take a peek? Scope out the building with the wheelbarrow and the cellar door. It's just giving off vibes next to the Liberty Square Market. Yeah, there she is, creeping in the window. Now, why the window-dwelling doll drama? Well, back in colonial times, dolls and windows weren't just early prototypes of toy store displays. They were more like ye old fire alarms, if you catch my drift. They signaled, hey, kids live here. So in case things got a little fiery, firefighters knew where the kiddos were. Plus there's a nifty Fireman's Brigade crest on that building. It's kind of a posh way of saying, we've chipped in for your big red truck, so maybe you save us first. Historical and snazzy. right, Erie enthusiast. Time to cap off our ghostly gala. Now we're waving goodbye to Liberty Square and moseying on down the radiant runway of Main Street, USA. One last chance to marvel at all the Halloween glitz. One last dazzling display. But no long goodbyes here. Because those sassy pumpkins by the exit, they're whispering, "See you real soon." And you know we will. Especially next time, when we do just a little sploring.